Hey guys, welcome to the Massive Iron Channel. I'm Steve Shaw. In this video, I'm going to talk about my core 10 muscle building lifts. If I had to start all over training again today, which 10 lifts would be at my core?
Everybody loves lists, so I have my 10 exercises that I would use if I was trapped in a room, stripped of all my muscle, and they said, you can't leave until you put on all your muscle mass back. And if I had to go back and do it all again and speed run back to it, these are the 10 exercises that I would use.
You let it down the weight to the chest and you press it up. Start around your thigh area and then you move them up slowly to your shoulders.
Before I get into this topic, if you have any questions or comments, drop them down below. The best topic ideas I turn into videos just like this. All right, so this concept was started by Bald Omni Man and passed along to, I believe, Alpha Destiny and Faz Lifts and Sam Sheether and a couple other guys. And it was passed on from Faz Lifts to myself. And before I get into this, basically the concept is if you were locked in a room and had to pick 10 lifts and you couldn't leave the room until you put back on your mass, speed running just using these 10 lifts, what would they be? So I'm going to share with you in this video my 10 lifts. But before I do so, I'm going to tag 3 lifters that I would like to see them do this as well. Now, first off, I'm going to tag James Tiny Vest. I'd love to see which 10 lifts James would focus on. I'm also going to tag Sean Nalawani. Sean, I'd love to see your 10 lifts. And we're going to throw into the hat, we're going to try to expand this a little bit with Greg Doucette. What I would like you guys to do is go over to their comment section, be polite, let them know I tagged them, and let them know you would like to see their 10 speed run lifts. All right, let's get into things. Now, first off, I'd probably use a safety squat bar. Safety squat bar, one of the reasons why I choose a safety squat bar over a regular squat bar is I feel like the weight's just a little bit more forward, a little bit more focus on the quads for me, just a little bit more than the lower back. And I feel it's easier on the shoulders. So if we're looking at longevity, we're looking at training health, we're looking at building back our muscle as safely as possible, as efficiently as possible, I'm going to use a safety squat bar. About 20 years into lifting, squats really started to beat up my shoulders. So if I had to start over again, my main quad exercise would be the shoulder-friendly safety bar squat. All right, second would be the Shaw dumbbell row. You're not going to see any direct biceps exercises in this because it's a tight 10. But I have a couple big rows here. The Shaw dumbbell row, or my version of the row where you're pulling off the floor like a Pendley row, I do these for about 15, 20, 25, even 30 or 40 reps, depending on what dumbbell is available and how I'm feeling that given day. And these are also secondary, pretty decent for the biceps. Now, obviously, I'm not trying to get any biceps action. When I do these, I focus on driving the shoulder and the elbow back. But towards the end of these sets, you can really feel that despite your focus on the back, your biceps are also getting some secondary work. So because I can't fit in a biceps exercise in here, this is a no-brainer for me. All right, moving on to number 3. You might be surprised not to see the deadlift. But if I'm going to start all over again, I'm going to start with the block pull. The deadlift is obviously great if you're training for powerlifting. But if I'm going for pure mass, I want to save my lower back just a little bit and pull for maybe 3, 4, 5 inches off the ground. I still get the good yoke involvement. I still get the good upper back. I still get the good erector involvement. Just a little bit easier overall on the lower back. All right, let's look at the next 3. Number 4 is a leverage squat. This is something I got in my gym just a year and a half ago, and it is a wonderful piece of equipment. It allows you to go deep, much deeper than a hack squat. It's a lot more natural of a feel than a hack squat or a leg press. It really allows me to target my quads, and I can't think of a better exercise that involves progressive overload outside of the regular squat than the leverage squat. So this is an easy one for me. As a secondary quad builder, as a secondary leg builder, I would add the leverage squat. I think if you're looking at using the squat and deadlift to build mass, you need other pieces of the puzzle in the mix. So this is a good complement for squats. Not everybody is going to get maximum quad development out of squats. You're going to need another lift, and this is the one for me. All right, number 5, pendlay row. I really didn't start using the pendlay row till 20 years into lifting. This is not a lift that's going to be perfect for everyone. It's not going to be perfectly suited for everyone. But when I do volume on this, when I do 3, 4, 5 sets of 8, 10, or 12, I can really feel my upper back working. I can really feel my back getting hit, and I am in love with this exercise. All right, number 6, the seated pin press. A funny story. All right, seated pin press. Now, over the years, I've done a lot of overhead pressing. 99% of it has been seated. I love seated pressing. I believe it's more stable, easier on the lower back. I can move more weight seated, and I just think it's great for the whole delt, including the side delt. Now, over the years, what I would typically do is I would place the barbell on the rack in front of me. I would lean into it, unrack, stand up a little bit, and then sit down. It was a super awkward movement, but my little pea brain, I never thought of any better way of doing it. So now what I'm doing is I'm setting a pin right about here, right, a little bit lower than the chin level. So my first rep, I'm getting my elbows under my wrists, I'm pressing up off the pins, and I'm doing the rest of my reps, bringing them right below the chin area. Now, a funny story. I posted a video of myself doing pin press yesterday on social media, and somebody came along a little bit snarky and said, "That's not a pin press." Well, I hate to do semantics debates when it comes to lifting, but the first lift was off a pin, so it's my variation of a pin press. I'm not doing every rep off a pin, just for clarification, so we don't get any more triggering responses. But I believe if you're going to do a seated press, starting off a pin right here is the easiest way to get it going, the easiest way to unrack, so to speak. All right, number 7, power shrugs. I love power shrugs. One of these exercises just had to be a pet exercise, and I love beating the crap out of my traps. I love it, and there's so many things you can do with power shrugs. So many different ways I've attacked my traps over the years using power shrugs. I've done 5+5 protocol. I've done the power shrug hell, you name it. Even after deadlifts and RDLs, a lot of times I'll throw in power shrugs before I set the bar down. So I love this exercise. A lot of people want to know how I built my traps, how I built big traps. It's with power shrugs and a shit ton of overhead pressing. All right, number 8, dumbbell bench. I could not function without this lift. I love the dumbbell bench. I love doing it for sets of 10 reps. I could just do 3, 4, 5 sets. Give me the dumbbell bench. I'm going to get chest soreness. I'm going to get mass. I'm going to get tricep involvement. Love this lift. Number 9, the seated dumbbell overhead press. This is a good complement in a secondary exercise to the pin press. Not a lot to say here. Just a great variation. And finally, the same with bench press. A lot of hate sometimes over this movement, but the bench press over my 38 years of training has given me a ton of chest soreness and a ton of tricep soreness. And I love the bench press. I love the dumbbell bench press. I think for me, they are a perfect 1-2 combination for chest. Now, if we scroll back and look at my lifts and analyze my lifts per body part, for quads, I have the safety bar squat and the leverage squat. For back, I have the Shaw dumbbell row. I have the low rack pull or block pull. I have the pendlay row. For traps, I have power shrugs and overhead presses. And then you move on to chest, where you have bench and dumbbell bench. So I have a pretty good variety for my major body parts. My triceps are getting hit hard with all the pressing. Biceps are kind of the laggy body part in this whole mix, but I didn't want to put in a curl and take out a pendlay row or a dumbbell row because they are higher on the food chain. So I feel with these in, my ugly ass biceps can get enough stimulation. I didn't put in any direct hammy work. They're just going to have to suffer. So the small body, the smaller muscle groups for me that suffer are the hamstrings and the biceps in this equation. But I still think this list is rock solid and can get me where I need to go. Now, I'd love to hear what you guys have to think. Drop a comment down below. Tell me which 10 lifts you would start with. And if you post your 10 lifts, one of you is going to win either a massive iron weigh, is either going to win a massive iron t-shirt or hoodie. So guys, hope this video has been of some help. If you have any questions or comments, drop them down below. If you made it this far in this video and have yet to subscribe to my channel, please do. I'd appreciate the support. So guys, as always, thanks for watching. Have a great day.